Welcome to the Tax Law Channel. I'm Scott Drake. My guest is tax lawyer Robert Wood with Wood LLP in San Francisco. We're going to be discussing an article he's written for Forbes regarding the Secret Service and prostitutes. Rob, welcome back.
Thanks. Nice to be here.
You kind of make light of the situation, which is shocking in many ways. But again, to make a long story short, the Secret Service members who were part of the team that were guarding the president in Colombia hired prostitutes. One refused to pay. Everybody got caught, and many people lost their job. But you use this as an example that others have probably tried to deduct prostitutes, I guess, as some sort of business or medical expense, and there is some actual documentation of this.
Yeah, and you're quite right. I probably shouldn't make light of the situation. It is shocking on a bunch of levels, and I guess it's also shocking for tax law is sort of a conservative part of the legal profession, and there are numerous pretty rigid rules, and so when you start poking around looking for unusual sort of outlier tax claims, that in itself can be shocking. But as I point out, there are cases in which people have claimed and fought for, but usually lost, tax deductions for prostitution. And I give a couple of examples in the article. Hopefully that won't shock most people that they fail.
Well, and then some people can call prostitution massage, and I guess there is some sort of massage therapy that is considered therapeutic. I guess one would though have to have it prescribed in some way. Would that be the case?
Yeah, and there have been, I guess, and they're funny in one sense. There have been some tax cases in which people have tried that argument. That is that the prostitution or some kind of sexual activity is necessary for medical reasons. I don't think that there is a case, at least I haven't found one, in which somebody has actual good valid documentation from a doctor prescribing a particular course of therapy, sex therapy or something like that. And those as you say, Scott, medical expenses, those might work, but most of the cases are sort of ridiculous, involving people who don't have the right documentation and who are making the argument, and I guess it makes good reading for the rest of us, but it's sort of inefficient for our tax system and for the courts.
Now that the Secret Service, when they go on these special trips now, it looks like they're going to have a chaperone with them. Can the government deduct the cost of that in any way?
I'm sure the government, I guess you could say, deducts the cost of everything. It's the government, therefore it doesn't pay taxes. It is interesting when you mention the Secret Service cost, I guess, over other issues. I think it was maybe over Newt Gingrich's campaign. The statement was how much Secret Service protection costs per day. And I think that was just for a candidate, let alone the kind of detail that President Obama needs to have. So I mean, it is pretty expensive for all of us as taxpayers, necessary. But stories like this make people think about how much they're paying and what they're getting and what they should be getting for it.
You can find this article at Forbes.com and at woodllp.com. My guest is tax law expert Robert Wood with Wood LLP in San Francisco. Rob, thanks.
Thank you.
And you've been watching the Tax Law Channel here on the Legal Broadcast Network.